Morning, Jess.
Good morning, Safrianna.
Hi, everyone. We are going live today to talk about Shadow Alchemy, our upcoming collaborative project. Yay! We are so excited about this. So excited, I don't even know where to start, Jess.
I
This
know.
kind of happened on a fluke, first of all. I just want to say that because I
Mhm.
think it's a fun story. I've been talking about Shadow Alchemy lately. You saw a post that I did. You messaged me about it. We had this brief conversation and then you accidentally called me.
Yes. And I think when you answered, you heard me saying, hang up, hang up, hang up, because I couldn't, my phone had blocked me out and it wouldn't let me get back to the screen to actually end the call.
Yeah, because the universe was moving and said, no, you need to have this conversation. So we had the conversation and then this book project was born. So I'm really excited about this book project, and I'd love for you to speak to this, Jess, because this is going to still be different from any project you've ever done before.
Mhm.
Like, there's still some very new and exciting elements. So, in case you are familiar with me, but you're not familiar with Jess, I have worked with Jess many times on many projects at this point, and she's who I keep going back to work with on writing because we just have this
Mhm.
natural number 9 link. But just tell, let's do a little bit of orientation. So talk a little bit about your publishing company and just like your normal projects, and then what's going to make this one different.
Yeah, so I'm the founder of House of Indigo, a publishing company for leaders who have really big voices. I work a lot with innovators, those who are just forging new pathways. And so much of what makes the work that I'm doing in this industry unique is that it's strategy meets energy. It's not one or the other. We're really looking at, you know, using our brain and looking at things as well as then inviting in our soul, inviting in our heart, inviting in the divine, inviting in all of these other elements so that it can just be really cohesive projects. It allows my authors to go much deeper into themselves. It allows them to really, a big part that I'm looking at is really how to harness their unique voices and what
Hmm.
what needs to come out so that they can have the most impact in this project, in this book, in their life, truly.
Yeah.
um and I love it. I love it. It's really fun.
Yes. And your love in this work is really, I think, part of what transforms it. I mean, there's lots of publishers out there now, and I've worked with many, and I've worked with some that are great. And you do it differently, yes, in the energy component. Like that was something that um no, all the other book projects were a little bit more intellectual and structure based, and that's totally fine and totally fine for a majority of authors.
Hmm.
But your niche that you just spoke to, like the visionaries, the people with the big voice that normally gets shut down by society, like those are the people that you really love working with, and that's who we're attracting for this book.
Yes.
So Shadow Alchemy is really going to be such a volume of healing is what I feel for it.
Hmm.
And not to say that other projects you've worked on have not been, especially like Soul Alchemy was really a volume of healing, right? And we had the book and the workbook. But with this project, we're going to marry the two, which is
Hmm.
exciting.
They're coming
I,
together.
I love it all. I love it all in one.
Yes.
So
It,
they're coming together. So I want to just kind of talk briefly about the project itself, like what this project entails, because a lot of collaborative projects, it's like a 3,000 word chapter usually, or somewhere, like there's a bigger chapter, and that's kind of it. And then you have your bio and your headshot. But with this, we are planning for Shadow Alchemy to be a volume that's really interactive the whole way through. So the
mhm.
writing segments are going to be a little bit shorter, followed by more like guided activities so authors can bring some of their signature practices forward or some of their frameworks forward, and that's like super exciting because then it's woven in with their story and the work.
Mhm. Mhm. It's really exciting, and I think It's such a beautiful blend because stories are important. It's how we as authors not only heal, it's how we have a larger connection with our ideal reader. Um, and they're just stories are so needed. They're the backbone of so many different traditions. And we need to have that peace, but then also we don't need to get stuck into our
Yes.
heads or into the stories or even into our hearts, with some elements of these. It's like, now how can we take those and really land them in our body, in our life, in our experience, and take that to create bigger transformation for ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing this book as a full transformational cycle too. And I think that that's going to be exciting to kind of figure out how we're going to weave that together. So Jess and I are collaborating lead authors, I guess, on this project. So we're literally going to be going into the back end together on this project, which is super exciting. I've been taking a publishing course with Jess, so I have more hands-on knowledge about the programs and whatnot. And I'm just like, especially with our natural number 9 vision, like I can see this being this whole complete cycle of a book. But what I want to say, with this sort of project is there is immense potential for you to do your own healing work in these writing projects, because as you're telling this story, yeah, like Jess, that was such an important point. Like, stories are healing, they're transformative. um they change our lives, and when you write a piece for a book like this or a project like this, yeah, you're putting your piece in a book and it's out there,
Hmm.
which is cool, but you do maintain the rights to your voice, but it's the process of the project that gets the voice out there. And then there's this capacity from there to share it in different ways. Like, I've used my chapter from Soul Alchemy and done like a whole course about just that chapter because I was finally able to liberate my voice in that way by writing a story about it. And so that's where people might be like, "Well, why would I be in a book? Like, what's the point aside from publicity?" There's a lot of self-development that can go into it, and that is something that Jess does so beautifully. And that when I was like, "I do want to do this project with you, and here's what I want to offer," what I brought to the table as well is more of that energetic work, more of that mindset work as we're going through the book. So there's just going to be more support than ever, I feel like, in this book container, which is like super exciting.
It's so exciting. It's so exciting. And yeah, I think that's such a key differentiation to really make note of, as you said, is it's like it's not, you're not coming into someone's not coming into this program, this project and being like, okay, so you have, 2 minutes to hand your chapter in and like then we're not going to connect, we're not going to do anything else. It's truly a transformational program. We are working with you to access the clarity of your voice, the strength of your voice, the impact of your voice, what needs to come forth. We're working on that as we're writing it and then publishing. So it's
Yes.
almost like it's like the publishing to me is almost like the cherry on the top, but you need that skin in the game in order to really dive in. Otherwise, it's kind of like, oh, whatever. But once like, oh, I'm actually publishing this and anybody in the world could read it if they want to, and lots of people will be reading it.
Yeah.
It has like this next level of commitment that you show up with. So it just always feels like such a beautiful um, marriage of
Mhm.
both. Yeah.
Yeah, and like again, I'm just thinking about my journey with these sorts of projects, and my first project was with you. So I got that energy and that voice clearing like right away. So it was a really, really, and then I became addicted and I was like, I want to be on all the books. But I keep coming back to you, Jess, because of that energetic holding that
Mhm.
you get in this container. And this book in particular, like, I'm excited for this container because we're basically it's open now, right? It's you and me, and we are calling in the right aligned authors to be and healers, really, like writer healers are the
Mhm,
people that are going to be in this. Um, that are going to be willing to grow with us through the process of this book, because our goal is to launch it on Imulg of 2024, which is like February 1st, 2nd, which is Brigid's holiday. It's the return of the light. And that would be really beautiful if we can pull this off. And I think we can.
mhm,
Um, but we're basically opening this book container during the holiday gauntlet,
mhm.
which means that we are and not just the holiday gauntlet, but for those of us in the northern hemisphere, the dark time of the year, right? We're literally in the shadows right now. So it's actually a really great time.
Yes.
Like, I
Yeah.
know we're slowing down, but this is a great time to do some writing, to cozy up and like go into your dark and feel into what needs to come up and out to be shared, and then to have it publish during the return of the light. Like, there's
Yeah.
such magic that we're weaving with the timeline of this. So I just want to speak to that.
Absolutely. And I think it doesn't escape me that, some people might be thinking, oh, well, it's the holidays, I'm busier, all of that. However, what a perfect opportunity to be shown where your shadows still are, where this work still needs to be. What a perfect opportunity to be held and supported
Yeah.
in community, not only with us but everyone else that comes forth, because that is one of my favorite things is the creation of the community and the
Hmm.
support that everyone is there. So what, a beautiful time to have all of us there, this circle together to work through and write. Yeah.
Yeah. Be
Yeah.
in the shadows together. And so a little bit about this project, we're looking at I think about 1,500 words,
Mhm.
which, just for the record, I wrote 1,000 words last night in like an hour. So this is not like a huge writing commitment, right? It's a chunk of writing, but it's like a blog in
Yes.
length.
Yeah.
And then some activities. So it's not like a, oh my gosh, I have to write this whole dissertation chapter and I've got to do it during the holiday season. No, it's really, we're going to be getting so clear and clarified on exactly what you want to share. You might write 5,000 words to start to process your stuff out. That's absolutely something that happens in this. But then we'll be really working together to titrate it down to be exactly what you want to share, to get your wisdom, your alchemical process shared with everyone else, so that the world can benefit from your voice. And again, you get to share that chapter. It still belongs to you. So you can read it, or you can do events with it, or you can do whatever you want with it. But as a part of this project, you get that whole energy work of, especially, there's so much throat chakra work that happens during these book projects, like so much. So 1,500 words with three-ish activities,
Mhm.
a bio, a headshot. That's the writing component. And then the energy component is we will do some opening, getting to know each other. We'll do some check ins. Jess has this whole beautiful course that you get as a part of this, that's like so good on diving in and doing a lot of the work. But then you're also going to have that live support. I
Mhm.
am offering my moon circles
Mhm.
um,
So
to anybody who's in the book project. So as you're doing the book with us, you can hop in my moon circles and just join in the energy of that. Like, we're just kind of trying to shower people with goodies as we're navigating the dark of this book.
Mhm, mhm. But not in an overwhelming way. Like,
Yeah.
neither one of us are, like, I don't think it's ever necessary to have, like, 3-hour calls, you know? It's no one has time for that. It's we we don't need that. The way that, energy can move very quickly, and, so I just wanna make note of that. Like, you have all of the support that you will need,
Yes.
without it feeling like, "Oh my gosh, there's 5 hours of things that I missed this week."
Yeah.
It's not. No,
No.
that's time for that.
No. No one has time for that. I don't have time for that. I don't want to put anyone through that. That's just not my jam anymore. I'm like, let it be easy, let it be fun. Let it
Yes.
be flowy, even in the discomfort. And yes, this book is Shadow Alchemy, right? It's like turning our inner darkness to gold. So, of course, we're going to be dealing with themes that are less comfortable, but it's about supporting ourselves in that, supporting our nervous system, supporting other people that have been through similar things to us, um, to lift themselves up. So I think it's really exciting, and we have a special
Yes, we
that
do.
is running
We do.
through Samhain.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that.
All right.
So we did decide, we settled on a new price for the
Yeah.
book,
Yep.
to just reflect the energetic commitment and the shorter chapter length. And we are running a special of $444 off because I'm like, all right, what should it be? And I'm like 100, 200, 300, 400. My pendulum starts doing this thing. I'm like 500 and it's like no. I'm like okay. So I'm like counting back down. 444. Okay, cool. All right, thanks angels. So yes, the angels are gifting us their lightness,
Mhm.
because that's what 444 is, the angel number of your angels are with you. So our angels are with us in this project. And if you are feeling that like financial tightness right now, we get it. This is a great opportunity to get $444 off either the full price or your first installment of the three chunked payment.
Mhm.
Um, and I get it. I was like, because I've been in several book projects, I'm like, why would I spend on being in a book? Right. It
Mhm.
really is just, in my experience, the reward of the community,
Mhm.
the future collaboration opportunities, the having done your work on yourself. Like, you can't really put an ROI or a return on investment on a book project like this in a black and white way.
Mhm. It's so true, and it's I have a big emphasis, as I said, on the strategy and how is this going to fit into your overall like business plan? How like what are you using on the back end of this to attract more of these readers closer to you? Like all of that. However, as you said, it's not like A plus B equals C. It's very I don't even know what that A
It's
plus
energy.
equals C
Yeah.
is.
It's a lot of energy movement. It's a lot of coming together in, I don't want to say sisterhood because we absolutely could have other genders in this book project, but siblinghood, right? Like coming together as peers, as equals, understanding that all of us, including Jess, including me, like including every single author in the project, is going to be working through some aspect of sharing their voice. And so there really is this, we rise together, we get to be together in the experience, which is so powerful.
It really is. And, everything is, there's no worry about like, oh, do I need to find someone to edit my chapter? Do I like all of that is absolutely taken care of. And if you're new to me or if you haven't seen some of my books, I have very high standards on what that looks like. So there's no, that this is not a cover design that's thrown together in Canva. Cover design will be available soonish. She's working on it. I'm so excited.
Yay!
I use like the highest quality designers and editors and every single element that goes into it. This book will look like anything that you could pull off of a bookshelf in Barnes and Nobles. Like it's
Yeah.
going to meet those very professional standards.
I mean, I'm like, where's Soul Alchemy when oh, it's across the room over there when I need it. Like Soul Alchemy, hands down, is one of the most beautiful books I've ever seen. Like it's just stunning, and like it exudes magic. And I know that this book is going to be very much the same. And that's the workbook. Like the workbook is that extra sized. So for Shadow Alchemy, we're going to do like a hybrid in between size.
I'm excited. I think it's going to be perfect.
So come join us on this book if it speaks to you. You're welcome to reach out and ask questions. If I set this up correctly, all the links should theoretically be on the description of this video. And if not, we'll make sure we comment it. But either We would love for you to join us if this speaks to you, because it is going to be truly powerful. I mean, Jess and I on a project alone is exciting. Even if it was just me and you, I'd be excited to do this book.
Same.
But I'm so excited to meet who's going to join us. And whether it's people we already know and are familiar with, or completely strangers to us, we're ready to welcome you in with open arms. We want to support your voice in this.
We do. I am so excited, and I'm so excited. Like, for people who don't know about the body of nine, you had mentioned at the beginning we're both natural number nines, which we're both connected to all that there is. We're all feeling how everything connect. We're feeling into how everything connects into each other, and the visionary and that energy is really what is coming forth this, as the like the overarching energy of this. And so if you're concerned about, I've been in other projects and I didn't feel like I was as connected, or I didn't feel whatever, like, that's we are very good at bringing all the threads together.
This is a little different. And I even remember we had a Facebook Messenger thread going with Soul Alchemy group, and we would just drop questions or like struggles in there, and the whole group would rally to support and give feedback and love. And this is going to be very much the same, and even with a little bit more structure, even in, and not in like, again, that overwhelming structure, but just like support structure for you to get whatever you need, whatever that uniquely looks like for you. So
So excited.
yes, who's gonna be our first co-author? I'm excited to meet them. Um,
I am too. And so we are planning on starting this the first week of November. We don't have a date scheduled yet, but that's like the week of November 5th, I believe it is the
and
first.
it's NaNoWriMo in November, so I'll already be writing. I'll be doing writing sprints in my Discord server. Like, come join and write a chapter with me. Like, be
Mm-hmm.
fun.
Mm-hmm. It is going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I can't wait to see who has answered the call, who is answering the call, who, these soul contracts that are intended to be a part of this, who are here to make a bigger impact. And this
Mm,
is part of it.
yes.
I am so excited. Like, we call you forth. The time is now. We're ready. Like,
We are here to receive you and
mhm,
receive, the wisdom that you have to share with the group
mhm.
and the
Yes.
world,
It's
because that's
very
what's going to happen when the book comes out.
totally. Yes. It's very healing, very activating, very clarifying in your message. It's just, they're beautiful. And
It's
you
good stuff.
create like amazing relationships and friendships and referral partnerships, and I can just go on.
Yeah,
So
I mean, here we are a year and a half later, and I'm like, I'm not going anywhere, Jess. Like, you can't get rid of me at this point, because the working together is so joyous, and that
mhm.
is the key. Like the joy, even in the challenging parts, that we can be in joy and compassion together. That's the
Yes,
key.
that's so good.
All right, well, hit us up. You know where to find us. We'll be around, and live your life, right? Like, live your life, enjoy, see the shadows for the gifts that they are. That's what this project is about, is seeing the shadows for the gifts they are. So that's my invitation to you, whether you're in the book project or not. Like, stay tuned.
That is such a good invitation. Yes.
All right, well, bye for now, friends.
Bye.